What is up, y'all? We back with another Scream 7 video, and today we're going to be talking about what could potentially happen in Scream 7, you know, possible plot details and what we can be looking forward to with this new Scream movie to add to the franchise. So to get into it, we've been getting some cast reveals here lately. We have Sidney Prescott's daughter reveal, played by Isabel May, which I think is a great fit, especially if you watch, you know, like Yellowstone and things like that. So I definitely think that she's going to be great. And one thing that's interesting, you know, to me with her character, she doesn't look like Sidney Prescott. Like, you know, there's no resemblance there. So I definitely think that that's interesting. Now, we don't have Patrick Dempsey signed on yet as Mark Kincaid, but we're hearing things out there that it might, you know, be likely to happen that he signs on, but nothing is confirmed yet. So I've been talking about this previously. Like, what if Mark Kincaid has a child with somebody else and Sidney calls her, you know, her daughter, like that's her stepdaughter, and they're like, you know, involved and stuff like that. But say if, you know, Patrick Dempsey or whatever as Mark Kincaid has another daughter with another female, and the daughter, played by Isabel May, is a very jealous kid. You know, this is a lot of, you know, things that could potentially happen. Like, she's a jealous kid, and she doesn't like Sidney Prescott. She's not a fan of Sidney Prescott because she feels that Sidney being with Mark actually kind of pulled their family apart, and she'd rather just have a happy home with her mom and Mark Kincaid. So what if it's something where, now I don't know how this motive, you know, will be to you guys. I think it'll be solid from certain angles, you know, her basically being Ghostface, the daughter being Ghostface, due to, you know, her being upset that Mark and Sidney got married, and maybe she feels like Sidney and Mark are a little too close, and Mark is giving Sidney a lot of more attention than her. It can be a lot of things. It can be similar to like a Jill, you know, Ghostface reveal, how it was in Scream 4, where she had like this like devious motive. She was very jealous of Sidney, and they were actually close. They were family. So it can be something like that. Like, could you imagine like we get another Ghostface that's similar to Jill? I think Isabel May will actually be a good Ghostface. You know, I think she will actually be a crazy reveal, and it will be a shocker because I don't think people are actually looking at it like that. I think people think Sidney's going to actually have a daughter that's going to be like, you know, the second final girl and things like that. What if she actually has a daughter that is Ghostface, similar to how, you know, Billy Loomis almost had a daughter that was Ghostface, which was Sam Carpenter, but she was just going in and out of kind of just getting that destiny with Ghostface, you know what I'm saying? But pushing forward, we got two more young actress revealed, starting with Asa German, and this comes from Bloody Disgusting. Now, he's a younger guy or whatever. I kind of looked. He did a couple TV series or movies, I want to say, but either way, he looks young, similar to like Isabel May, 27 years old. I think that what's going to happen is a couple of things. Possibly they're about to be building a core four, and the reason I say this is because of this next actor that I'm about to reveal, and this actor comes from Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I really loved her performance in Ghostbusters Afterlife. Her name is Celeste O'Connor, I want to say that's her name, but I think that they're going to try to build like a core four, and I think it can work in a certain way where basically Sidney's daughter has friends, being Asa German and Celeste O'Connor, and I think that that can actually be something that's interesting with, you know, them kind of trying to give that core four vibe with this group. And I just got a vibe with Celeste O'Connor, like, what if she's the opening kill? What if she's like, now this is if they don't do the core four type of thing, but what if it's something where actually one of Isabel May's friends get killed in the first act, you know, the opening kill, and that kind of leads into everything with the panic of Sidney Prescott because her daughter is out there. Maybe she finally lifts up. Maybe Sidney finally gets, you know, away from just being so overprotective of her daughter, and she decides, hey, you can go out and hang with your friends and stuff like that. Just be home at this time or something like this. Maybe, you know, Sidney's an overprotective mother. Now, this is if they don't take that route where this is actually not Sidney's daughter. It's her stepdaughter type of thing. It's Mark Kincaid's daughter. But if it's Sidney's actual daughter, I think it'd be something where Sidney's actually overprotective and she's out with her friends and stuff like that, and then the news hits on television where Sidney, or she gets the news somehow, some way, where one of your daughter's friends ended up getting killed brutally, like almost like a massacre, and it's going to wake her up to think about Ghostface. And it doesn't have to be Celeste O'Connor. It can be Asa German, either one. I think it'll be a good way to bridge the story with one of her friends being the opening kill, and then she actually ends up doing two things, Isabel May. She's panicking, or she's kind of like, she's just, you know, she's in a dark place and she's really sad about her friends, but she's still trying to push forward with life and she's trying to just get through everything and get to the bottom of it. But Sidney Prescott is telling her, like, this is dangerous. I've seen this type of stuff before. You got to be careful with my daughter. And she's like super protective over her. And then Ghostface ends up getting a little closer to Sidney's daughter. And I think it sounds like a Scream plot, because Ghostface probably trying to send off like a warning shot, like, hey, this is her friend I'm taking out, and next I'm coming for your daughter, and it's gonna pull me closer to you. So I think that could be crazy. And maybe it's something where, Sidney Prescott's daughter, she's in school and stuff like that, and someone that she's cool with has a bloodline that's close to Stu Macher. Asa German possibly has some type of bloodline involved or skin in the game from previous Ghostface. It doesn't have to be Stu Macher. It could be anybody, long as it just kind of pulls in with the motive. I was thinking about that. I think it's actually, because at first I was saying, like, okay, they're bringing like a new young crowd, similar to like the Core Fours. I don't know how I feel about this, but it's all about that motive and the story they have behind these characters to bring a front line to blend well with Sidney Prescott and possibly Courtney Cox and possibly, Patrick Dempsey as Mark Kincaid and Courtney Cox as Gale. Now, I think that it can actually be something very interesting with this plot if they do it right and just have something that's reasonable and understandable for Sidney to come front line again, how she did in 96 and the previous other Screams, where she's that final girl, but this time she has a different vibe to her. She's a wife, she's a mother, she has a daughter, she has a lot to lose. So I think, yeah, this can definitely work. I was actually excited about these announcements, especially with Celeste O'Connor, because I really did enjoy her performance in Afterlife. She did such a great job next to McKenna Grace, and I was like, man, I wonder what made them really recruit her. So they obviously saying something in her that helps them with the plot and helps her character be able to blend in with the Scream franchise. But I don't know, something is giving me Open and Kill vibes with her, but also giving me like Mindy vibes. Mindy, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I definitely think they're gonna try to go back to the old days with Scream 7 being that instead of it surrounding Sidney Prescott and her friends, it's gonna surround her daughter and her friends, and Sidney's gonna be the old head that went through this, but trying to tell her daughter be safe out there because it's dangerous. And I think that will kind of give us tension from beginning to end, being that one of the opening kills is her daughter's friend, or maybe they just kind of jump off the edge and just do something crazy where a legacy character is the open and kill to really bring some attachment in. Because either way, that formula will still work, where Sidney has to get up out her seat and hop in final girl mode, because she knows that this is getting closer and closer and closer to home. And you can even incorporate the Carpenter sisters in as being that happened in New York. Maybe Sidney's still worried because she saw what happened with the Carpenter sisters and how the Ghostface reveals happened. And maybe Kirby reaches out to her on the phone like, hey, Sidney, you need to prepare, something bad just happened in New York. It all works. I think with these reveals that we've been getting lately with these cast members and the designated roles that I'm assuming that they're going to, especially Isabel May being Sidney Prescott's daughter, is really, something that's very exciting, because a new generation is about to be birthed right in front of us. And I hope that this is one that stays. This is one that's solid, Spyglass. And I can't wait to see, like I said, Asa German, I don't see too much on his resume. Being Celeste O'Connor was just in Ghostbusters Afterlife, and she did an amazing job. And I think she does fit in a Scream movie, in my opinion. But yeah, it can be a lot of ways. Maybe Isabel May can be Ghostface, being that she's not Sidney's real daughter. She's just Mark Kincaid's daughter, and she doesn't like the relationship that Sidney and Mark Kincaid has because it doesn't involve her mom, so she's a bitter, daughter. Or it can be something where in Sidney Prescott's daughter's friend group, it's a Ghostface involved, and they became friends just to get closer to Sidney Prescott. And maybe they have a dad that was a Ghostface at a point, or maybe like I don't know, just some type of bloodline involved. I think it'll be crazy, but it all has to make sense and the motive has to hit. So comment down below what you guys think about everything we just talked about. Do we potentially have a new Core 4 in our hands? Is Sidney Prescott's daughter going to be, or her stepdaughter going to be, the Ghostface if she's the stepdaughter? Or is Sidney Prescott's daughter friends going to be locked in with the Ghostface stories and try to come after Sidney because of some type of family ties? Let me know down in the comments how you guys feel about everything we just talked about. Unfortunately, this is the end of the video. I want y'all to hit me up on my social medias at ILIKESCARY. We will be live this Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Scary at Night. I want you all to watch some horror movies. Stay scary out there. Peace.